Want to know what a real man would tell their lady about love and life? You're in the right place. This is Hello Ladies with Rom Wills. Rom Wills is an author, speaker, and proud father. Grab some wine, sit back, and enjoy.
Hello ladies, welcome to my spot. Ladies, go below the surface with a man. And you know, I thought about this because I had a troll on my men's channel. And I was saying something, it was a video I was saying something about some certain types of women. And they were like, oh, you don't know anything. I can tell you're not educated. I just laughed. They gave me my laugh when I saw it because I was just like, you know, Ron got dual degrees, okay? I got an undergraduate degree, bachelor's, and I have an advanced degree. And I'll never say what my advanced degree is because, believe it or not, because, you know, on the men's side, you got some people be trying to, like, dox you and stuff. I wasn't a surprise for them. But whatever the case, very educated, formally, well-read. But I looked at what I had on in the video. It was just ordinary. It was like from years ago, really. It was just some, it was a shirt I was wearing from one of my supporters. I got a lot of clothing from supporters and stuff. And that's all it was. It was just a regular t-shirt. And I thought about it because I was just like, you know, a lot of women make the mistake of just going by just what they see on the surface. Just what they see on the surface. A lot of women mess up. Ironically, it'd be the women looking for guys who got a certain status and money. They be the main ones missing out, you know? Because I'm just like, okay. Because I was thinking about it, like I have a very good friend and she's married. She's married, a real friend, right? A dear friend. But if you saw her husband and son, you would think they were just some ordinary guys just barely making it out here. Her husband makes like $500,000 a year. And you know, they got a big 15-acre property. Her son, even though he's just basically just turning 30, shoot, that dude's making a lot of money, 6 figures. But if you saw them, they look like ordinary dudes. In fact, that's the thing with money. Like a lot of women be looking at the money, but a lot of guys make it, but they can be low key with it. In fact, I did a video on my men's channel, one of my most popular videos about why many successful black men stay low key. Like I know some guys, like here's one, here was one. This is in Baltimore. I can name the cafe, the owner of it. Let's just say he owns a cafe. It's in, I ain't gonna give away too much. But I remember I was sitting with a friend of mine who had a restaurant on this particular block at one time. We sitting there, we just chopping it up. And he was walking and, you know, she waved to him and said, I remember what she said to me. She said, Ron, you see that guy right there? And this is a young guy. He might still be in his 30s now. She said, yeah, he owns half this block. And this block has several storefronts, apartment buildings, and everything. I mean, he was renting out the storefronts. They had apartments, everything, and he owned a space on there where it's still lucrative to this day. But if you saw him, you wouldn't think that. See, you know, it's funny. You get a lot of women, they want that successful man, but, you know, he could be walking past them and they don't, you know, unless he got that, like, you know, that fine look, or he's obviously got money, you know, walking around with that expensive watch and, you know, latest name brand clothes. A lot of women will just walk past him. And honestly, let me tell you what, a lot of men who really got something going on, it really isn't obvious. Beyond maybe them, the best you might get is a walk. Because one of the things is, like, the guys who are super fine and everything, sexy fine, shout out Nicole Michelle for coming up with that. A lot of times, they might not make that much money. They might make enough to live on and everything. But if you take an honest look at the men who are generally most successful, you know, they'll keep themselves fixed up, but typically they ain't gonna be model-like. Now, I know as, you know, ladies, y'all can get past that, but then you're looking at other things, aren't you? You're looking at his shoes, aren't you? You're looking at his shoes, but what if he's wearing some ordinary shoes? You know? Like I mentioned that my friend who's married to this guy making $500,000, you know, he dresses very plainly. No name brand. Her husband and son dress very plainly. No name brand stuff, anything like that. Ordinary clothing. And you got a lot of men like that. And see, that's just on a superficial level. That's not just on that money status social level. What about emotionally? You don't know anything about that guy till you actually have a conversation with him. You don't know. You know, he might say, hey, how you doing and stuff, and, you know, because he don't look a certain way and look like he got money, you pass him up. But then if you were to somehow talk with him, you'll find out you and that guy got a lot in common. You know, or you might find out, hey, you know what, this guy is highly intelligent. He got a lot going on. He's interesting. But a lot of women lose out because you're so focused on the surface. And look, the reason I'm bringing that up, let's be real. You got nothing but women complaining. Yeah, you got men complaining, but women complaining. And usually the men are honestly complaining in response to many women rejecting them. And I'm just like, wow. Because you don't know what's going on with them. Ladies, you don't know. You don't know. In fact, I was talking with a young man who follows my work, and he was telling me how he had talked about me to this coworker he had. And he was saying, yeah, she was surprised you were a writer. She'd seen you around, but she didn't realize you were doing all that. I mean, like being a writer, you don't know which ones. Like I've known guys who they own property. Like I know this guy, real good guy. If you saw him, you wouldn't think much of him probably. You know, you wouldn't think much of him. You know, the best thing he got, he's a little taller than average, about 6'1". You know, could stand to lose some weight at the time anyway. I haven't seen him, talk to him in years. But that dude owned like multiple properties. That dude, money was nothing for him. He owned multiple properties. Had money, could travel, do whatever. And I know a lot of guys like that, but then a lot of women, they might not give him the time of day. You know, they might not give him the time of day. And my point is, wait a minute, I got something coming off here. Sorry about that. my point is, you got a lot of women these days want that guy, but then you passing them over for very superficial reasons. You know, you have to dig deep. Like, hey, let's just be real. Most men are going to look average. So first of all, if you're looking for that guy, drop dead gorgeous and all of that, you might be looking for a while. So you got to say, okay, let's see what else the guy got. You got some guys who can just bring it to the table. Now, like I said, if the guy just totally dirty looking or something like that, and he's behaving in a rude way, okay, definitely. But like a lot of women, a guy could just walk up to them. A lot of women, a guy could just walk up to them and they reject it. And like I remember at an event I gave one time. I was giving a seminar back in the day in my home, and it was a young lady in there. She was a cool young lady, but 3 guys tried to talk to her. Now, the first 2, they had so much going on for them, it was crazy. The third one, let's just say he works just enough to keep food on the table. She was real friendly to him. I was like, wow, you passed up 2 good guys for the blatant player. It's like, oh man. Look, ladies, just go below the surface. Seriously, in this day and time when y'all having trouble, y'all got to take an extra step. You know, y'all got to take an extra. There's no ifs, ands, and buts. You want to take that extra step. Now, I understand, okay, if the dude totally busted, I can see that. Or the dude all dirty and stuff, but let's just be real, ladies. A lot of times, some of the guys you rejected, they cleaning themselves up. You know, they cleaning themselves up. They at least staying clean. They are actually starting off being respectful, but a lot of women don't want it. You know, in fact, the scary thing is, I've talked to some women. They'll say, "Well, yeah, he was handsome. He ain't had that umph or something like that." If y'all really want a guy, y'all gotta get past that whole umph thing. Because say sometimes the best relationship is the one that's not an instant spark, but a slow growing flame. I want y'all to think about that, okay? Seriously, because we can't go another year having these same issues. And don't worry, I'm hitting the men on some stuff too. I'll be hitting the men on some stuff. People, both sides got to be realistic, but this is me talking to y'all right now, all right? So anyway, that's all I have for now, ladies. I'll get back with y'all later. Peace and blessings.